those of you who've experienced this so far know this, but those of you who haven't, it's really unlike any theatrical experience you will ever have or ever have had. We've had really seasoned actors who've been through everything who come out here and sort of have an experience like they've just never had. And it's a good experience, let me just say that.
Well, I've never had an experience.
You know, certainly I think when you think of the great rich comedies, you see, you know, like Twelfth Night and like it, you see some of the early antecedents of this in this play. You see sort of the kernels of ideas or themes or even tricks like, you know, cross-dressing that sort of are manifest in these early plays you see develop as it goes further into the canon. So it's really interesting and rich and really exciting. In terms of that, you know, sort of the way that we've decided to approach the play with the design team, we really started with this idea of sort of the Rat Pack kind of feel. My feeling is that the process is going to be very fun and very playful and very joyful for us, but it's going to be very hard. It's going to be a lot of work. We're going to be we have a lot to do fast. It's a short play, so that's helpful, but we're adding probably 20 minutes worth of music to it, so we're kind of back up to 2 hours and 30 minutes. But it'll be a lot of fun, it'll be a lot of work, and I just would encourage you as you kind of come into the process to be excited about the opportunity, excited about the day ahead, but just realize that we got to capture things really quickly, own it, and move on.
You know, what we talked about as we were going through it is the couple of different worlds that we inhabit, and we did some versions where there was kind of a Verona world and a Milan world and a Outlaws non-city world, and we cut it back. One of my tenets in designing Shakespeare is that you don't want to do very much design-wise. That the language is so rich and so dense, and there's so much going on. You can kind of do one sweep of a design idea, and anything more than that starts to clutter up the play a little bit. So what we've come up with is, I'll hold these up and then I'll pass them around, is this big sort of half circle that sticks up over the common that's all kind of bright orange. And for the early scenes, when we're in Verona, and then at the end, when we're in the desert, it's just a strip of neon that runs along it that kind of does a southwestern skyline, and there's a little abstracted moon or sun, whichever we want it to be at a given time, up there. And then a series of steps spilling down towards the audience to give us this sort of simple, plain space. And then we have essentially the neon of Las Vegas that pops on when we're in the Milan scenes to get us kind of the cacophony and the excitement of Vegas. I think I was putting up a show in Vegas and Steve told me about this project originally. So that's what we're really doing is actually Vegas and not Vegas are our two looks, or you know the sort of the excitement, the fantasy world that is Milan, the unreal place where you can get away with anything, and then every place else.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about the geography of where we are. We're in Vegas. Then where is Verona? And I kind of came up with the idea that it's sort of Palm Springs, small town, Ivy League, a little isolated. And so we have Proteus. We have some of our characters in the very beginning coming out of that world, going into the Vegas world. As you see, say Proteus and Valentine, very sort of, this is just to give you an idea, very Ivy League, sort of blues. I went with very bold colors and very big patterns and scale because of being in front of being part of the set. So, the thing about 1960 being on the cusp of change, you still have the sort of 1950 silhouette, but you're kind of moving into another decade of change. So we have the two different silhouettes that we have to work with. A little bit the 60s where it gets a little wider at the waist and narrow at the bottom. But we still have this lovely 50s sort of large romantic silhouette.